Okay, so we are going to do an installation on the new JL locker. So the first thing you're going to do is just put your seat up just a little bit, just so it's kind of up, movable. Pull all 4 of your D-rings. It's a little plastic cover. Use a small screwdriver to pry up the rear side. It'll pop up. Take that bolt out with the D-ring and put them in a bag, a Ziploc bag that could be what our hardware comes in, just so you've got it, because you won't be reusing those. Okay? If you want to put the D-ring assembly back on after we put our sidewalls in, you can. They'll sit flat on it, so you can do that if you still want to have D-rings in the back. But for installation purposes, I'm going to show this as a standard, regular install without the D-rings going back in. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to grab the driver's sidewall. Driver's sidewall has the cutout for the LED light and the plug-in. So I'm just going to set this down. You're going to take our 2-inch foam and you're going to cut it to fit right across the very top. I'll change that around so it's easier to see. Right here. And this is so if you take the sidewall and the top panel off, if it's touching the plastic, if you get into high wind or something like that, or you're off-roading, the sidewalls can flex a little bit without those parts holding it tight. This peel and stick foam makes it nice and easy as a buffer. So I'm going to set it even with the very top edge and just put that on just like that. Then I'm going to take 2 of our supplied longer bolts and I'm going to set this right in place. And all you're going to do is put these down in and go just kind of like hand tight for now. That way you can have the ability to adjust it front to back once it's completely in. So it's just spinning these into the existing D-ring bolt holes in your floor. So I've got it so you can see that I can move it front to back. And the foam up here, if this moves, it'll hit on your plastic sidewalls, and that way it doesn't make any noise. So now I'm going to take the passenger sidewall, and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to get the shape pretty good with, it's an angled back wall, so you'll be cutting at an angle. And I'm going to peel and stick this guy on. I'm going to go right across the very top. I'm going to set it into place and grab my bolts and washers and do the exact same thing. So one thing that's nice is when you put all this in, it's tight with the seat up. So if somebody thinks that they can fold the seat forward to get to the back side of this, as your seat opens up or folds down, you see that it tilts this way. It would hit the wall and not go all the way forward. That's kind of like a secondary safety feature. So if you want to fold your seat all the way forward to have that extra space, you do that when your wall and your top is off. You can do this and it will fold all the way up out of the way. So play with that so you see how that works. So now that I've got these in just kind of hand tight, just so it holds a little bit better, you can try putting the wall in like this, but when you go to fold that seat, because of the way it's going to fold, you're going to hit the wall and you won't be able to put it in. So what you do is you pull it back down, lock it in, fold it to where you've got enough room to put the wall panel in down behind it. And I'm going to grab the wall panel here. You'll see that we've got a corner angle that is for the driver's side bottom. So we're going to come in just like this, push it against the seat so it comes down in, and you want to drop these into the bottom slot just like that. So you've got that front and back right like that. Okay? And just because I'm here, we'll go ahead and we'll grab 4 of the spin knobs, and we're going to put these on also just finger tight, so we've got a little bit of flex to it when we go to put the top panel on. So just like that. So this is still movable, and you see that if you try and push the seat forward, it's hitting the wall and it won't open up. So that's kind of another nice safety feature with all of this. So now I'm going to grab the top panel. This is the forward side of it. You'll see that this has a contour to it. This is to fit into the tailgate when it's closed. So all we're going to do is we're going to set this in place. And drop the studs down in through the top of the sidewalls. We're going to do the same thing with grabbing the spin knobs and put those under. Spin them on loosely. Just like that. And then the last thing is take this edge seal and put it on your edge here. This kind of protects your tailgate. If you've got the setting too far back, if it comes in contact with the tailgate, it'll protect it. And all you do is adjust the whole system more forward. So you can adjust the gap that you want at your tailgate just a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Okay, so that's in there nice and easy like that. So we're going to check our gap right now. We're going to close this. Come over. Pop the door closed. And we want to see where this is at. If it's touching a little bit, just kind of push it forward. That's why you got your bolts loose in the floor. I can feel a gap with my finger around it, so I'm good there. I'll check this side, and I can feel a gap. So that's really good. This keeps somebody from prying up inside. So with this all in now, I'm going to take a socket wrench. Let me go find my socket wrench. It is a 3/16 Allen head for these bolts here. If we update or change the bolts, it might be a hex head for a socket or something like that. But all we're going to do is we're going to tighten this up because this is a good spot for it right now. So all you do is tighten the floor up with this. Already had So this holds my position right there, and what I'll do is I'll pull the top panel back off. As you can see that the bolts are just underneath the wall. So to tighten that all the way up, I'm just going to pop the wall back off. This is after you do your final adjustment with the tailgate. Tighten your two rear bolts all the way down so that it holds it into place where you want it. And if you pop the wall off, or the top panel off, you can actually raise up, loosen these. You can raise it up to tighten that bolt for your perfect position. So I'm just going to pop it completely out. Lift it up high enough to where I can get my socket under there to tighten the bolt all the way up. That's nice and snug, and then I will pop the wall panel back into place all the way down. Since these bolts are now tight, I can tighten these spin knobs all the way up. Now I'll put the top panel back on. Push the wall top over, drop them in, all the way down, put the spin knobs back on, and spin them on all the way tight because we're nice and tight. So make sure you pull this all the way rearward because there is a slot in the top of the sidewall. So pull this all the way back, and that's where you'll tighten it up. And this makes your complete covered enclosure for your JL with your rear seat still in place. Again, if you want, you can always add your D-ring back in, so that way you can still have your tie downs if you want them. And what's really nice is you can see that you still have full access. If you don't have the subwoofer, you'll still have access to your full lower enclosure. You can see that our wall sits about 1.5 inches forward of that hinge point on your floor system. So again, this is all in. It's lower than what your crossbar for your soft top or your hard top glass is going to be. This fits in right about groove height on your tailgate. And again, we're going to close this up. And now you are fully secure for anything that you want to keep in the back end of your two-door JL. And this is the Diabolical Inc. locker system for the JL two-door.